Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Albert. So today I'm going to show you how you can set up your UniFi long-range access point in your apartment. This is going to be a very short video and I'm going to guide you on the steps that I use to set up the UniFi access point in my apartment. I know that there are some people who want to set up their own access point in the apartment or in their house, but they don't know how to go about that. But in this video, I'm going to show you how I configured my Microtech router and how I assign the IP address to the port at the back of my my Microtech router, and how I also configured the UniFi access point. Actually, the UniFi access point that I'm using right now is the Unifi Wifi-6 U6 long range access point. That's what I'm currently using, and you can get this access point from the Ubiquiti website. I think that it goes for like $126 or $130. It's very cheap, so you can get it from there. And so in this video, I'm going to take my time to show you how I connected my access point to my router and how the access point got internet from the Microtech router that I'm using in my apartment. All right, stay tuned.
The first thing that I'm going to do is that I'm going to connect the router to my computer, because I need to configure the router board first. So when I'm done configuring the router board, I'll go straight up to the closet and I'll connect the modem's cable to the router board here, and then I'll see how the internet goes. So now this is how it's going to happen. So first of all, connect cable, and then connecting the cable. So normally I sometimes advise that you connect the cable to the port 2, not the port 1. So normally connect it to the port 2, which will show up here that it's connected. Yes, because I've already done the connection to my laptop, right? The next thing is that you are going to see that the light will definitely show up. Okay, I don't know whether you can see that, but you see that the light is showing yellow. You just turn off. The light, it blinks and then it goes off, blinks and it goes off, and now it's blinking. All right, perfect. Okay, so now you can see that now the light is stable. So the next thing that I'm going to do is that I'm going to configure this and then show you how this thing is done. The next thing that we will need is called the Wingbox. So we will need the Wingbox, and the Wingbox is what connects to the router board. So we need a Wingbox, which is a software for Microtech. You can.
All right, so now I'll just go ahead and configure the IP address for the router board. So I'll go to IP. I can go to a quick set and then set up the IP address from here, which becomes more easier, right? Some people will do it from here. I can do it from here. Hold on a minute, let me just show you something. Or I can set the IP address also from here. So for example, I can come to addresses and I come to add an IP address, and then what I'm going to do is that I'll just add the IP address to be 192.168.5.1, and then I'll just put it on the interface. This is Ethernet. This is the one area for the Ethernet AP. So what I did was that, but let me show you first of all. Let me go back a little bit. When you look at the interface here, you can see that the first one, the Ethernet, that is the port I showed you. So the port 1, I've renamed it to be 1. So that is where the coax cable is coming from the modem to connect to. So at the back of the router, the first port here is for the Ethernet, then the second port, which is.
Okay, so currently what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get rid of this cable for now. Yeah, just let me leave this one for hanging first. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is that I'm going to plug in my Microtech router board Perfect. And then, so as I showed you, this coax cable here will come to the Ethernet. I don't know if you can see. So this is the cable coming from the modem. It will come to the Ethernet port, to the first port, which is the one they've written internet. So this is where it will be plugged. Right. Then after that, I'm going to test for the internet whether it's good, because I just finished configuring the router board. All right. So as you can see, the light is blinking, which shows that it has some connection here. And then when you also look at the modem, you can see that the internet here, you see that data is blinking yellow, so which means that there's something, you are getting some nice feedback from the modem. As you can see, you are getting some nice feedback from the modem. So I just go ahead and then connect my laptop to the router board and then see whether we have the internet. All right, let me show you one of just something simple. When you look at the Microtech router, I have connected this second cable to the port that I renamed Ether2AP, and as you can see that the light is blinking, which shows that it's connected to my, you see, as you can see the number 2, and it shows that it's connected to my laptop. So now I'm going to go ahead and then show on the laptop if we have access to the internet, right? Okay, so I just go ahead and then open a browser. Let's see if we have internet. All right, so let's open a browser. We are going to see if, let's open YouTube and see if we have internet. All right, so as you can see, yeah, we have internet. Let me just open one and then see what is going on, if it's going to play. Perfect. So we have internet. So as you can see, we have internet. I can just go ahead and then just do a speed test. Let me check this one also. All right. Okay, so all right, so now as you can see, this port here is going to be connected to the to my access point. Yeah, so this port is going to be connected to my access point. Now, as I showed you, there are 2 extra cables. I know that there are a lot of people in your apartment. When you check, you have 2 extra cables here that is not really doing anything. So when you buy the router, you can connect this one to the back of the router that you bought. So what I'm going to do now is that, you see that I bridged port 3 and port 4 together as one, and I assign an IP address to it, right? What I'm going to do is that I'm going to connect this cable. One goes to the bedroom and then one goes to the living area. So after that, we are going to test it to see if everything is working fine. So I just go ahead and unplug this cable from the port 2, and then I'll plug this. I'll connect this cable. Let me just bring it closer so that you can see that. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to connect this cable to the port 3, and then I'm going to connect this cable to the port 4. Now I'll just go ahead and configure the IP address for the router board. So I'll go to IP. I can go to a quick set and then set up the IP address from here, which becomes more easier, right? Some people will do it from here. I can do it from here. Hold on a minute, let me just show you something. Or I can set the IP address also from here. So for example, I can come to addresses and I come to add an IP address, and then what I'm going to do is that I'll just add the IP address to be 192.168.5.1, and then I'll just put it on the interface. This
this is Ethernet. This is the one area for the Ethernet AP. So what I did was that, but let me show you first of all. Let me go back a little bit. When you look at the interface here, you can see that the first one, the Ethernet, that is the port I showed you. So the port 1, I've renamed it to be 1. So that is where the coax cable is coming from the modem to connect to. So at the back of the router, the first port here is for the Ethernet. Then the second port, which is the Ethernet 2, I need to rename this. So this is going to be renamed. Hold on, let me just double click on it and then go and rename it from here. So this is the Ethernet 2, and this is going to be for the access point. So the port 2 is where I'm going to connect the access point to. So I just click on apply, and that'll be it. And I have also renamed it, and then I can go and then add a comment to the Ethernet 1 and say that, so this is going to be, this is the port for the Internet. This is the port for the Internet. So you can, whenever you are configuring the microcontroller board, you can add a comment to it. So this is for the Internet. This port is for the AP. So now I did a third one. So the third one here is the spare. I call it the spare. But what I'm going to do is that I'm going to bridge the third and the fourth port. I'm going to bridge it together and then assign an IP address to it. So when I come to bridge, I can come here. I can come to port here and then add ports, but I'm not going to do it like that. I need to first of all select the bridge and then name it. So this is going to be the name I'm going to give this one is bridge 1. I just apply it, and then when I apply the bridge, I'll go to port and then add the ports to it. So this is going to be the interface. I'm going to put the port 3, which is this. But hold on, let me just go ahead. Let me cancel this first. So I'll go ahead and then just rename this to the normal, to the default name, which is the Ethernet 3. So I'll go to the port here and then add the ports. So this, so the interface will be the E3, the Ether 3. That is the port 3, and then I'll add it to the bridge. So this is going to be the bridge 1. Apply and hit OK. Then I'll add the Ether 4 to it. So I'm going to add Ether 4. I'll add it to the bridge. Apply and then hit OK. So now what I've done right now is that, so now you see that this is a bridge, right? So the bridge is acting as just, I'll say, so the bridge is combining these two ports together as one. So what I'm currently going to do is that I'm going to assign an IP address to this particular bridge instead of the DHCP, so the DHCP will release an IP address to these two ports. So basically that's what I've just did. So now after doing this, what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to go to IP addresses here, addresses, and I'm going to add an address, right? So I just go here and add 192.168.5.1. I'm going to add, I'm going to put this IP address on Ethernet 2 for the AP. So my access point is going to receive this this IP address, right? I'll go ahead and apply and then hit OK. Then I'll add another IP address. So I'll add another IP address to it. So as you can see, when you look at here, you can see that the AP is responding. As you can see, some packets going through the access point 2. It's going through the port 2. Now I'll go ahead and then add another IP address, and I'm going to give this IP address as 192.168. Let's say, oh, I made a mistake with this one. All right, so hold on a minute. Let me go ahead and then let me clear this one off. Let me delete this IP address and then add it again. So this is going to be 192.168.5.1 slash
/24. So this is going to be /24. Perfect. And then I'm going to put it on Ether2 for the access point. Apply and hit OK. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add another IP address, which is going to be 192.168. No, I'm going to add, let me say, okay, 192.168.10.1/24. And I'm going to add this one to the bridge. So this is going to be the bridge. And now just go ahead and then hit OK. So the next thing that I'm going to do is that I'm going to set up the DHCP for the two. So I'll go to IP address and go to DHCP server, and I'm going to delete this one, and then come here. So I'll come to DHCP. So yeah, the DHCP setup here. I can just go ahead from here and then pick up the interface, which is for the for the access point. I'll click on Nest. I'll click here Nest, and I'll go to Nest. And then you see that it's giving us the address pool. So as you can see, you have 192.168.5.2 to 192.168.5.25.254. So basically what is happening is that the DHCP is going to release an IP address between 2 and then 254. So all the IP address between 2 and 254, the DHCP is going to release that IP address to the access point. So when I connect the access point to it, the DHCP can decide, okay, fine, I want to give the access point maybe 192.168.5. maybe 10 or 5.8, or depending on whatever the DHCP want to give it to it. So I just go ahead and click Next. Then the next will be the DNS server. So the DNS server is 8.8.8.8. That is the Google server. All right. I'll go ahead, and then the least time will be just 10 seconds, which is 10 minutes, which is okay. I'll be like that, and then click OK. The next thing is that I'm going to set up another DHCP, because okay, it just disconnected up. It will definitely connect back again because I just did a DHCP configuration. That is why. Okay, so let me just open it up a little bit. So when you go back to the DHCP server again, I can go ahead and add another DHCP, because you see that when I created the IP address, I have one for bridge 1, because the bridge 1 has this has port 3 and then port 4 together. So I need to create a DHCP so that the DHCP will release an IP addresses to those two ports whenever any cable is connected to it. So that is the first one, the first thing. So I'll just go ahead and then select the bridge. So this time I'm not going to select Ether 3 or Ether 4, because I've combined these two together as one, and then I've bridged it. So the bridge simply means that I'm combining two ports together as one. So I just put the DHCP here on the bridge, and I'll click Next. And you can see that when I created an IP address from here, you can see that the IP address is 192.168.10.1. So the DHCP here is setting the address space from 192.168.10.0/24. So I'll just go ahead and click Next. Then the gateway will be 10.1, and then go ahead and click Next. So you see that the DHCP is giving us a pool. So the pool is 192.168.10.2 to 192.168.10.254. So what this one also means, as I explained earlier, is that this one here, the DHCP is going to release any IP address between the number 2 and the number 254 to any port, to any device that I'm going to connect to the port 3 or to the port 4. All right. So I'll go ahead. I'm sure that somebody is asking me what is the meaning of DHCP. So DHCP is dynamic host configuration protocol. So what it does is that it dynamically releases an IP address to devices on the network. It doesn't release an IP address for a device and it becomes static. For example, let's say the DHCP will release an IP address to, let's say, a device on the network, and then that'll be static. It doesn't change. No, the DHCP, what it does is that when it releases an IP address, it has a lease time. The lease time can be either 1 hour to 4 days or 10 days,
and after that the DHCP will release another IP address and then take over the first one that it released to the device on the network. So that's basically that's what the DHCP is going to do. So I have to set up, I have to configure the DHCP servers like that. So that's the reason why I'm saying that it's going to release an IP address from here, from this pool, to any device that I'm going to connect to either the port 3 or the port 4. So the same DNS. So the least time will be 10 minutes, which is okay. Go ahead and click next successfully. So now I'm done configuring this. The reason why I'm not going to configure the WAN is because of security reasons. I don't want to put in my IP address now. That's something that I will not advise anybody to do whenever you are doing a live thing. So alright, so now I have my DHCP server set up, I have my IP address set up. So what will be the next thing? The next thing is to go and then do the firewall rules. So I'll go to firewall, and then I'll go to NAT, and then the source, I'll go to the out interface here, and then put it on Ethernet. I'll put it on the 1. So the reason why I have the source NAT and then put it on the 1 is that any IP address that is connected to that is going outside this particular Ethernet 1 interface to the Ethernet, what I want it to do is that I want the action to be masquerade. I want the firewall to masquerade the IP address when it gets on the Ethernet. So basically, when you look at here, it's saying that any source that is going out from Ethernet 1, the action should be masquerade. So it should masquerade the IP address basically. So I'll go ahead and click apply, and I'll go to the filter rules. Alright, so that will be for it. So the next thing I'm going to do is, let me see, is there anything I'm supposed to do? No, I don't think so. So now I'm done with this one. I'll just go ahead and then close it. But a little bit about the router. If you want to, let's say, add time to the router board, you can add time to the router board. So you know the uptime, you have the uptime, you can add the uptime. You can see the uptime here. So if you want to change the name of the router board and want to change the password, you have the password here. You can come and then change the password of your router board. Oh.
Okay, so currently what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get rid of this cable for now. Yeah, just let me leave this one for hanging first, and then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in my Microtech router board. Perfect. And then, so as I showed you, this coax cable here will come to the Ethernet. I don't know if you can see. So this is the cable coming from the modem. It will come to the Ethernet port, to the first port, which is the one they've written internet. So this is where it will be plugged. So the next thing that I'm going to do is that I'm going to box this one. So this is Unifi Wifi-6. This is the U6. I don't know if you can see the back. Yeah. So this is going to be the access point that I'm going to use in my apartment. This one. Then it came inside the box. I think it has what I will need to use in case maybe I want to fix it on the ceiling. But I don't think that I will need this. Yeah. All right. So you see that it does not come with any cable or any PoE. So the way to power this thing is through a PoE adapter or PoE adapter. That is the only thing, because as you can see from here, you can see that this is what I'm going to put in the Ethernet cable. So I'm going to put the Ethernet cable through here. But first of all, let me see if I can take this one off here. So this is how it's going to be. Just connect the cable to this side. I don't know if you can see that. Perfect. So this is how I'm going to connect the cable. But when I connect the cable to this side, the next thing I'm going to do is that I have to connect it through this PoE adapter. So I don't know if you can see this. So yeah, so I have to connect it through this PoE adapter. So I got this thing from Amazon. Let me just go ahead and then take it out. All right. So I just go ahead and explain this thing to you, how this thing works. But just a minute, let me just put this thing here. All right. So what this thing does is that, as you can see, this is going to be the PoE. So as we have 2 ports here, we have the local area network, and we have power over Ethernet. So this one will go here, and then this is the point. This is the part. So I don't know. Okay. So we have local area network PoE, and then we have we have the LAN, which is a local area network. You have the PoE, which is the power over Ethernet, right? So this cable will be connected to here, and then the end of this cable will go all the way to the back of the access point, like this. Great. So this is how I'm going to connect to it. Then this will be the port where I'm going to connect the cable to. I'm going to connect the cable from here to the router. So the cable from the router will come to this port, and this is where the internet is going to route through here, and then it connects to the access point, right? So the Ethernet, so the cable from the router will be coming through here, and then it will go all the way to the Ethernet, to the access point. So let me just show you how that is done. Okay, so this is the router. So this white cable will be connected to the port 2 here. So it will be connected to the port 2. Now the Ethernet here, this is where I'm going to connect the cable coming from the modem. So it's going to be connected from to this port. So as you can see, so this is how the setup is going to be. So port 2 is going to route to the PoE, the power adapter, and then it routes back to this side, and then it will take the internet to the access point. The access point will then broadcast everything to the devices in my apartment. So this is how the setup is going to be. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to go to the App Store and then search for UniFi Network. So I'm going to download their app and then use the app to do the setup, right? So I just go ahead and then click on connect, get, and then just touch it and install it on my phone. Okay. All right, so I just go ahead and then open it. Okay, so UniFi would like to use a Bluetooth. All right, so what I'm going to do now is that I'm just going to leave this one for now. I'm going ahead to connect the access point to the I'm going to connect the access point to the power outlet, and then after that I'll just do the connection from here. So the first thing I'm going to do, can see power is on. But you know, okay, I don't know if you can see that the light is blinking, which means that yeah, it now has power. So I'll go ahead and then do the setup on the phone. All right. All right, so connect Bluetooth. Okay. UniFi would like to find and connect devices. Okay. So I'm just naming my Wi-Fi, so I'll go ahead and then call this "thou shalt not touch." All right, "thou shalt not touch," and then I'll just go in and then put in the password. Just a minute. All right, so I just put in my password. So it's saying that separate 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz network. I can just go ahead and say yes. And then, so it's asking me for the name of this. So it's asking me for the 2.4 gigahertz network. It's using this name, 2G. I'll go ahead and then click on next. The same password. Let me just go recover password for independent devices. I'll just clear this and then type in a new password. Okay, so the next one, so the thing, okay, so now it's saying that finishing configuring your device. All right, so just saying that finishing configuring your device. I think I give off my microphone. All right, let's see. So about 45 seconds left, and as it's doing that, you can see that on the access point the light has changed to blue, right? Yeah, and it's still, as you can see also from here, oh sorry about that, it's still finishing the setup. So you can see from here that it says join the network. Just connect to your connect to your access point Wi-Fi 6 Plus now, and then it says join network. You can go ahead and then join the network. And if I want to join network that shall not touch, I think that is all. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Perfect. So now you see that the independent AP is going to be remotely managed and are not associated with your UISSO account. All right, no problem. All right, we just go ahead and then just close this one off. So now we have access point Wi-Fi 6 already connected here. I'll just go ahead and then check the Wi-Fi. So as you can see, let me just open and let me open internet, and then let's see if it's going to connect.
There's nothing holding you back.
All right.
What would your thing be?
So this is so simple. So this is very simple. As you can see, I just did a setup on my phone. So I'm going to connect this cable. I'm going to connect this cable. Let me bring the camera a little bit back. Oh, shut up. Let's see, well. So I'm going to connect this cable from here to the living area, so that I can set up the router in my console. All right. So this is Cat 6 Ethernet cable, and that's what I'm going to use for this setup. So what? Okay, let me just quickly get this thing off here. All right. I'll just take this thing off. All right. The first thing that I'm going to do is that, as you can see this, I'm going to connect this cable. Let me unplug this. Let me unplug this one here. All right. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to connect this coupler. So this. Okay. So I can see that the Ethernet 1 cable is working, which means that we are getting connection with the modem. So as you can see that the Ethernet, this one is the longer cable that's going all the way to the closest. So as you can see here, the lights is blinking with the connection to the modem, which is good news. Now the two here I haven't connected to the access point, so that is why the second cable is going to be blinking. So I'll just go ahead and then, as you can see from here, I'll just go ahead and then disconnect it. Perfect. So this one is connected to it. Let's wait for the lights. Alright, so the second light is also blinking. Alright, so now you can see that it's going. Let me put the camera so you can see. So now you can see that the lights is blinking. Yeah, it's blinking white. It's now perfect. So you see now the light is blue. The light is blue means it's stable. When you look at the router, you see that the router 2 is the light of the second port. So that the second port is also blinking. It's not really stable yet. Perfect. So now you see that now it's also stable, which means that we are getting some good connection here. And I believe, I haven't tried the Ethernet, but the light turning blue here, and also the light of the second port being stable means that we are getting Ethernet connection. I haven't tried it yet, but I need to try it. So let's go ahead and then set up the place well, so that we know we can test for the, we can check for everything. Alright, perfect. Let me just see this one here. Alright, so this one here is going to be here. Okay. I'll go ahead and then do the cable management as well. Okay, perfect. Go ahead. Do this thing here. So we have to test for the Wi-Fi. We have to make sure that we are getting Wi-Fi. All right. So let's go ahead and then let's test for the Wi-Fi. So as you can see, the Wi-Fi name is "Thou shall not connect," and it looks like it's connected. Let's go ahead and then check YouTube and see if we have access to the internet. Oh, I think so. Okay. So I think that we have my UniFi U6 Plus here, and and I have my router here. So the router is connected, the access point here is connected to the router, right? And one of the reasons why I have the router here is because I'll be connecting my camera also, because I'll set up the camera outside my apartment. So my camera is also wireless, so it'll be connected to the access point. That is the reason why I bought here.
I hope you like my video. If you like this video, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel and also like this video. Thank you so much for your time.